Hey Leo, it's Mama TPG with One Love, One Light Tarot. Welcome to your New Year forecast. So I'm going to start out by doing a little bit of reflection on 2020. I know we want to put it to rest, but I feel like if we kind of go over the energies that, the astrological energies that you were faced with in 2020, then we can kind of have a good jumping off point to see where are you going to take this in 2021. So I basically went online and did the research because I'm not an astrologer, looking into what was the horoscope for Leo for 2020 for the whole year. And essentially it can be neatly packaged by you asking the question, how might your life be transformed by taking care of yourself, body, mind, and spirit? So if you were looking at your horoscope for the next year or your reading last year at this time, this is kind of what you would have taken away from it based on the astrology. Okay? I'm sorry, it is New Year's Eve and there is fireworks going on everywhere. We still have, where I'm at, we still have about an hour and a half, a little bit more before the countdown. You may have already went through the countdown wherever you are in the world. So anyways, what I was going to do is grab a few cards. We'll put out a few cards for 2020 and just kind of see how did you fare in 2020. Did the pandemic affect the way that you navigated your life, basically, and through the various energies that came across 2020? Was that shaped by the lockdown, the pandemic, whatever, or not? I mean, some things, some were less affected than others. So we'll go ahead and get a few cards for that, and then we'll jump into the whole theme and forecast for 2021. All right, so let's just keep in mind that taking care of yourself, body, mind, and spirit. And so you may already have the answer to that question, Leo. You know if you did that or if you were able to accomplish that or if that was even something you had in mind at the beginning of 2020. So spirit guides, show us clearly how Leo fared in 2020. Show us clearly. Okay. And we have the Seven of Wands, Seven of Gabriel. We have Justice. We have the Magician. And we have Temperance Solutions here, number 14. Okay, so let's look at this. So for all intents and purposes, it looks like you know, things may have drastically changed for you, but you were still doing your thing in 2020. So you started out the year, Seven of Gabriel, Seven of Wands. Stand up for what you believe in, have confidence, claim your personal power. So there has been, a lot of that showcase throughout 2020. It's just the energies are demanding that of us, right? To stand for what we believe in. Your challenge was justice here. So this could specifically be, depending on each of you, could have been a run-in with the Justice Department, could have been some kind of court case or, criminal proceedings, or could even be, suing somebody or something. That's just for some of you. But others of you, I feel like it's really about coming to terms with what you truly believe and then balancing your life around that. So it says Justice, Archangel Raguel, hope I'm saying that right, Fight for justice and equality, rulings made in your favor, and don't give up. So that was a little bit of a challenge for you, but I still feel like you overcame that. The advice from Spirit was the Magician, Archangel Raziel. You can manifest the life you want. What you need will magically appear. Successful beginnings. So I feel like, that's probably the approach that you took. Even though you may have stayed in the same job, you probably were performing it completely different than you were before. Most people had to do some major shifting in the way that they work, in their actual responsibilities. So much has changed in the world just in 2020. So the outcome was this temperance energy, Archangel Zadkiel. Success that comes from objective compromise, self-control, and patience, forgiving and healing energy. And I feel like this is what really sums up the year for you. And whether you see this in a positive light or a negative light is entirely your perspective. But I feel like it's really coming to a place where, yes, you may have had to make some compromises, shift, be flexible, maintain discipline and control when there was frustrating situations, patience. But ultimately, you may have been the one at your job or within your family that had the solution, that was able to come to a middle ground somewhere to make the best of 2020. So that's what I'm getting, and you will, obviously, it doesn't necessarily affect the theme for 2021. So take this how it resonates. I just felt like it would be good to kind of see where we were jumping off from. So now the theme for 2021, and I did the same thing as I did for 2020. It's about looking at the astrology, seeing kind of what is the outlook, and then summing it up, trying to sum it up into one little statement or theme for you. So for 2021, what I got is healthy boundaries for Leo sun sign. If you know your chart, and the placements of other zodiac signs within your birth chart, then I strongly suggest watching the other signs videos, and you can put together a much more dynamic forecast for the year. But I kind of see as last year being more focused on yourself, taking care of yourself, body, mind, and spirit, and then now this healthy boundaries, it's about now you've done the work on the inside or with your physical body and so forth, and now it's about managing your environment. So healthy boundaries is really about coming into alignment with what is the best for you. Where is your energy going? Are you encountering people or jobs or whatever that suck your energy, that is taking energy towards something that is not important to you? So let's say, let's just say you have $1 worth of energy every day to use, and 65 cents of that is going towards something that is completely not important to you. So obviously you'd want to set up better boundaries. If it's work, setting up a better life work balance. If it's a person, like a family member that's very needy or something, and it's not that they're not important to you, but they're not your top priority, and yet they're getting all of your energy. So you can see how you could apply this to however that fits within your life. It doesn't have to be a person or your job. It could be whatever. It could be a hobby that is taking away from your relationship. Whatever it is for you, you'll know. Okay, so let's see how that is going to play out for you. let's start with a power of love. What are these called? Activation cards. To see what we're looking at in regards to love for 2021. Exactly. Present. You live in the moment and are able to bring forth the energy of love in your current circumstances. So this isn't about looking at the past. This isn't about looking at the future. It's about the present. But it's also about being there, bringing forth energy to what's important to you, bringing about love to what's important to you, not allowing, those energy suckers, those other things. Maybe you're into video games, but it's not and that gets a lot of your time. That's just because that's what you do. But taking a step back and looking at it and saying, is that what's most important to me? Or is it my relationship? Or is it my children? Or is it, whatever, my creative outlet? Whatever it is for you. Okay, so let's get a Soul's Journey card. See what else we're dealing with in 2021 for Leo. And we have MB. I am the same as everybody, but with different challenges. So this is about really looking at understanding that, what you see is not always what you get. When you see other people and envy, so maybe other people have, a different type of relationship than you do. Maybe it's somebody that has a job that you're like, God, I wish I had a job like that. They're only going to show you what they choose to show you. And just know that everybody is going through challenges. Everybody has disappointment in their life. And the grass is not always greener on the other side, right? So it's not just about that. It's also about looking at what you do have and really being grateful and appreciative for it. And then recognizing that that is what's valuable to you. You have the things that are valuable to you. And what other people find valuable, it just reminds me of this story where it's like this girl sees her neighbor, who she's not even friends with a bow and arrow, and learning archery. And it just she looked so cool and just fierce with this bow and arrow. So then the neighbor wants to go over there and learn how to do bow and arrow. And she really had no desire to learn archery. She just wanted others to be able to see her in that fierce, kind of warrior position. It's a much longer story, but that's the cliff notes of it. So, just recognize that every situation, every life has challenges, everyone has different talents. Some things come easy, some things they struggle for. Everybody has that. So I feel like that's going to come into play where you're realizing that certain things that you've struggled to provide for your family or, pay for, or a certain type of relationship or whatever it is for you, it's going to be revealed to you so that you don't have to put so much energy towards something that's really just kind of an illusion, I would say. All right, so we're going to get a Whispers of the Ocean Oracle card. Okay. Number 49, be insightful and established. Ground and rebalance your energy. Bring your awareness into the now, which is this present energy, rather than allowing it to occupy the past or future. And I feel like that also plays into this MB. It's like there's something that you are much more prosperous or abundant in than the next person. And then, you know, and maybe also having compassion for others that may be, you know, showing you some type of envy type feelings. Okay. So I feel like that's also something that could come into play. Okay. So let's go ahead and see how this is going to play out for you in 2021. Why is present here for Leo? And we have the Nine of Wands. Yeah, I feel like there's been something that has really been pulling on your energy, and it's not necessarily how you meant it, right? It's not what you meant. Some of these burdens that you may have been carrying weren't yours to carry, okay? And I know that you want to support others and you want to, you know, lighten the load for others around you. But by taking that on yourself, that is sucking your energy. And you know, it's very clear here, very clear that there's something that you need to really look at and say, you know, am I paying for, am I paying for coffee of the month club and I don't even drink coffee? That to me is a very easy way of looking at how your energy, if you look at it as a resource, just like money, if you were giving money to something every month that you don't even use, and it's just been pure laziness or just forgetfulness that you haven't canceled it, and it's just bleeding out money for nothing. You're getting nothing in return, nothing that is important to you. So that's what I'm talking about here. Rest and reconsider. Let go of the burden and set up those healthy boundaries to say, you know, even if it is something or someone that you care about, it's about having it reflect the level of importance to you. If that is the most important thing in the world to you, then they're going to get 95% of your energy. But don't forget, you still have to have energy for yourself. You can't give it all away. All right, so why is this 49 be insightful and established? Here we have the Two of Swords, refusing to see. So essentially, when I see this card, the traditional tarot depicts it as, you know, a woman with a blindfold on with the moon and the ocean behind her and two swords where she's kind of blocking. So I get what they mean when you say refusing to see. But it's also about trying to see something only with your actual eyes, right? And not being able to see it because really you need, you know, you're not going to see the truth by your eyes alone. You're going to have to go into your intuition. And with that traditional depiction where she has her back to the water and the moon, which represent that intuition, it's like you're not going to be able to see, you know, maybe it's a choice, maybe it's a truth of a situation, unless you use your intuition, because maybe it's just too confusing to look at logically. Okay. So how that plays into this. I feel like there's a need to really, it may be about the past or the future, probably the past. I'm going to say the past is that, you know, there may be your perspective on how things went in the past. You need to look at that and see if you can see it from others' perspectives, and it may really bring about healing for you. All right, so why is this envy card here for Leo? And we have the Six of Swords. believe and succeed. So this is about moving into more calmer waters, not having like all that kind of, it could be conflict with people or conflict within. So I think that all of this is to say, you know, if you set up these healthy boundaries for yourself, this is where you're going to see that kind of calming of your life. Right now, it may be kind of overwhelming. You're just exhausted from how much energy you put out for others, or maybe it's for yourself, but it's for things that aren't necessarily your top priority. Okay. So we're just going to get another deck and just take it a little deeper. So why is this present and rest and reconsider here for Leo? And we have the Hierophant, wisdom. So this is this could be in regard to a marriage. It could be in regard to a long-term relationship. It doesn't have to be. But this is usually about spiritual connection. The Hierophant is like, you know, a lot of the older decks, it's just called the Pope, right? So it's like the leader of organized religion or something like that. But I don't see this as being necessarily about that. I have done a few Leo readings, and this card came up, and it was definitely about teaching others something. So that may apply to you, but I feel like what this is about is learning what's most important to you. If you are spiritual and believe in something, it's about fortifying that connection with prioritizing that spiritual connection within your daily life. Why is this Two of Swords here? And be insightful and established. And we have the Seven of Pentacles, patience and planning. So what this card traditionally shows is someone that is right by their whatever they're farming. They've planted seeds, it's got fruit on it, but they're just waiting for the harvest. So it's about like having put in investment, whether that is money, time, energy, whatever it is. You've put in the investment, and you can't really stand there and watch it grow. You have to kind of just trust or know that there was a certain level of risk to it and whether you will have a harvest or not. But I feel like for the most part, this is talking about, see how abundant this looks? It's like, and it's saying established. So ground and rebalance your energy, bring your awareness into the now, rather than allowing it to occupy the past or future. So when we're talking about patience and planning, I mean, obviously planning is about the future. Patience is also about the future. It's all about the future. So I feel like this Two of Swords may have been talking about a perspective from the past, but it's also going to change the way you think about your future. Okay. Let me see the color of this. Okay, so I am so wrong. This is the Six of Wands. So this is actually a card that represents Leo. So this is about having gone through a lot of challenges, maybe even battles, and coming out the victor. But it's not over yet. Like, you're still on this, trip in a boat, right? it's still about like you've weathered the storm, and it's giving you that motivation to keep on going and to really start to feel how worthy you are of this victory. So why is the Envy and the Six of Wands here? And we have the Hermit here. Solitude. So this is about looking within. So this is what we were talking about for 2020 was, you know, really trying to, let me get my notes again. It was, you know, taking care of yourself, body, mind, and spirit. So this is about, you know, doing that work on yourself. And, you know, sometimes it is by yourself. And maybe you had a period of time in 2020 where you were by yourself and you know, really did take stock of what's important to you, what's not. You know, how do you perceive the past? Were there lessons and victories that you never really thought about but have really shaped who you are today? So that is something that I definitely see as, if you did not do that in 2020, that it would be crucial for you this year, because if you're setting up healthy boundaries, you have to know, you have to really believe in your own worth and understand what you want moving forward, right? So how are you going to set up boundaries if it's not part of some other plan, right? If it's not part of a plan to free yourself up to put energy towards something else, or money towards something else, or love towards something else, whatever it is for you. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little distracted, I have to say, because it is New Year's Eve and we're about an hour away from the countdown, and there's all these fireworks and gunshots going on outside. Okay, so we are going to get some daily healing so that we can see what kind of healing messages we have for 2021 for Leo. Spirit, thank you for bringing my awareness and attention back to this reading. Okay, so this first one is looks like trees and mountains with fog on them. I know it's hard to see on the screen. Take 5 or more minutes to concentrate on a, a divine feeling or a higher thought, doing your best to block out all other distractions. And I feel like that's about being present, right? It's about actually giving your attention to the things that you are, whether it's, you know, doing that, that kind of soul searching, giving your full attention to it. If you've decided you're going to do this, or if you already did, it's about giving it the attention it deserves, right? Okay, what else do we have? Okay, so we have, looks like some kind of little thistles or some type of wildflower here. And it says, work daily towards improving your mental health. So that was part of your, you know, kind of task for 2020. But I feel like it carries over because you're trying to set up healthy boundaries, right? So I feel like mental health should be regarded as much as physical health. I don't know why we don't look at it as equally significant. Okay, and then the last one is these beautiful roses, red roses. And it says, express your love through your deeds. And I think you already do. I really do. I think that that's what you already do. And I think that it just comes down to understanding that you don't have to do it to the level of where it's exhausting you. If you're helping somebody, if you're assisting somebody, maybe it's an elderly family member. I got that in the Cancer reading as well. Maybe it's somebody, within your family or your relationship that just has a lot more needs than, the average person. Maybe it's their health. You have to ask for more assistance. You can't do it all on your own. It's about, yes, giving energy to it if that's what is important to you, but not letting any one thing take all your energy to where you are depleted and you aren't functioning right, Okay. So those are the messages that came through. I did struggle a little bit because of all the fireworks going on outside, but that's my own fault for waiting until the last minute. So I hope that you have a beautiful, happy new year. Let us not forget that we create our own scenarios. So if you want it to be happy, it will be. Just make it a priority. All right. And so remember, the universe has your back, and so do I. Take care.